Hey guys, it's Heather from Tomatoes, Puppies, and Everything Gardening. So today I've got a really fun video for you guys. It's involving someone else, so you get to see someone other than myself and Tonto. My neighbor that moved in, I guess last summer. Oh, I see a squirrel. There he is, in the act, trying to dig into where I have some little petite carrots. I'm gonna send Tonto out there right now. Get him. Go, 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 go. Over there. Go. Good boy. Good boy. Too late. Too late. Poor puppy. He is always trying to help me out and get those squirrels. He's never caught a squirrel. One time he got maybe 12 inches away. Don't worry. For all those who love squirrels, he will never be able to capture one. They will be fine. But it helps to kind of scare them away from a garden. Kinda, sorta, not really. I don't know what to do. It's an ongoing issue. Probably have to live with it. But anyways, today's episode, I'm going over to my neighbor's house. I'm trying to think, when did they move in? They did not move here last summer. They moved late the summer before. So, we got to know each other. Our dogs would play. I slowly kind of crept in the whole gardening issue. And I discovered she wanted to have a garden too. So early spring, she and I started, coming up with an idea where she could put a garden and how could she get started, just a basic in-ground planting space. And so today we're going to update it. It's been quite a while since she's had anything growing, since late summer, early fall. She did not grow, over the fall or winter, this early spring. So I'm going to go over there. We're going to go through the steps. We're basically going to redo all the steps we did last early spring to get her bedding space prepared for tomatoes and peppers. So let's go meet my neighbor. I'll see if she wants me to use her first name, or I don't know. I usually don't have guests. The only guest I've had has been my mama. Okay guys, plants that my neighbor will be using this year are courtesy of what you see here. My seedlings that I started late February, early March, and the same for last summer. I donated many plants to help get her started, and they did great, I think. I'll ask her some questions on her experience from last year. We don't really have a plan for how we're going to do the video. We'll just wing it, but hopefully it'll be informative to someone who is just getting started in gardening. And, you have those basic early questions, how and why and when, all that good stuff. So, all right, let's head over to her house.
The next day.
Yeah, so we're here with my neighbor, and it's okay to use your name, right?
Yes.
Kenya. Am I saying that right?
Yes, Kenya.
Okay. So you wanted to say something about pronouncing or like processing time to come up with the right word.
Yes. English is not my first language, so it might take a little bit for me to process what I want to say, and maybe I mispronounce some words, but I will try my best.
Okay. Yeah, and I was just saying, I'm from Kentucky, so I pronounce a lot of words differently too. So we'll be fine. So we're gonna set up your garden. You've already started working. I'll insert a few pictures here. So you did the weeding, which we have a lot of that mock fake strawberry, and that's a very invasive hard weed to get out. And then it looks like and we'll put some pictures, and you put down your leaves.
Yes, I did. I tried to grab a big pile of leaves. I tried to, how do you say?
Crush.
Yes. Yes, a little bit, as much as I could. After I thought that I had a good layer of leaves, I got my hose, wet them a little bit, and stomp on them.
Good. Okay. Perfect. And so then your next step, you're going to put down your cardboard like you did last year, because this is your second year as a gardener.
Yes, but I feel like it's still the first year.
Okay, that's perfect for this video, because I think the audience would be maybe getting started.
Okay.
And I think I said that in the intro, is like, I'm thinking this video might be for people who are like wanting to do a garden but maybe scared, and like do it as economically as possible in ground with very few supplies. So your next step, you're going to put down your cardboard, and you can recycle cardboard if you have it, or you can buy some at Lowe's. Is that what you did this time?
Yeah.
And then wet that really well, and then start layering. Like I can see your bags of compost over there. You're going to put down a layer of compost, and I'll insert pictures here.
Yes.
Of what you did, because you're going to actually do that part. You've done step 1 and 2, I guess. So put down your compost, a nice even level, water in between each step, and then you've got some in-ground garden soil,
Yes.
and then you're going to have a layer back. And so we're really close. Maybe in the next 1.5 to 2 weeks, your plant should be ready to go.
Yeah.
And so, what do you want to grow this year?
I want to grow tomatoes, some basil, some peppers, poblano peppers to be more specific.
And the ones we had last year that I grew were spicy.
Yes, good. I mean, I'm Mexican, so
Yeah.
they were good, but yes.
Abnormally
yes.
spicy. I
Yes.
think. Okay. Okay. Are you going to try any beans? I know you put a few bean seeds in last year.
Yes, I liked we had green beans. Was it green
Yes.
beans? And some flowers for the pollinators.
Yes, that will be important.
Yeah.
And I think I can definitely spare some flowers.
I have some from the marigold last year.
Still?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
some
The seeds?
Yes. I
Okay,
need
so
to.
you saved your seeds.
Yeah.
That's great. So, what do you think is the biggest hindrance to someone who, like, how did you feel last spring when I was saying, hey, do you want to start a garden? Did you feel afraid or did you feel overwhelmed?
Both.
Okay.
I felt afraid because it was my first time ever like doing some gardening, not even in my previous house, or I had no experience with
Okay.
gardening. So it was a little bit scary, but I had your help, so that was very helpful.
Yes.
So you could walk me through what needed to be done.
Yes, and you did a great job.
Thank you.
And you got to enjoy. What did you think of
Yes.
your first tomato from the garden?
It was great. Like I cannot compare tomatoes from the store to growing your own garden. Yeah,
And
tomatoes.
do you feel like you learned as you went? Like,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
And can you apply that this year?
Yes. So I noticed that I make a couple of mistakes regarding like how deep I needed to
Yes.
to plant my plants. I noticed that I didn't do like too deeply.
Okay.
So there were some roots like showing on the top, and I mean they were fine, but I knew that didn't look fine. Like, so I think I'm going to not make that same mistake.
Well, observation in gardening is like, I think, the best part of it and learning. Because I could tell you something, but until you make that mistake yourself,
Yeah.
it's not going to really hit home. So I think you did great. I think you'll even do better this year. I think every year you garden because you have learned, you can apply that and do better each year. So you're kind of restarting, but I feel like your soil, and I'll put a picture here.
Yeah.
We'll go over there in a second and actually fill it.
Okay.
Because I think it's going to feel better to you than what it did last year before you started.
Okay.
It kind of, do you feel like you can, I mean, it looks more like soil versus last year it was just grass and weed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So every year you work that, it's going to get better and better.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are at Kenya's garden space, and she's got a little walkway there. And so you're going to keep it level with where the stones end. It looks like you did an incredible job weeding. And, you know, if it wasn't such an invasive weed, I often just cover it and then the weeds die, the grass dies. But that mock strawberry, it really will come back if you leave the roots. Did you decide to leave that corner grass?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And you can see how beautiful her grass is right there from last summer from her garden getting fertilized and watered. Okay, so this is a good space to work with. How long would you say this is?
I'm not good with measurement.
Okay, I'm going to say like at least 12 feet long and about maybe 3 to 4 feet wide. So I think you can definitely fit at least, let's see, 1, 2, 3. If you do kind of like you did last year and put your peppers in the front,
Yeah.
like a zigzag pattern with the tomatoes, you could do at least, I would say, 4 to 5 tomatoes in the back.
Okay.
Or we'll say 4 conservatively, and then zigzag your peppers in front. You could do several.
Okay.
And then even save a little room at the very end for your beans if you want to do the bush beans again. For a summer vegetable garden, you really want at minimum 6 hours sunlight per day, but you could probably even get away with 4 to 6, just less fruit. So then go ahead and weed if you want or not. It's up to you, but any weeds that have a rhizome, like those mock strawberries, I recommend taking out. Then you want to put down a crushed up layer of leaves and dampen them, walk on them, get them all smushed in there. Put down your cardboard. You're going to wet that really well as well. And then a nice thick layer of some kind of compost that you've purchased or made if you make your own compost. And then the final layer is going to be some in-ground garden soil is what I prefer for an in-ground bed because it's a little bit mulchy, may retain a little bit of water, similar to like the mulch you use in your landscape beds. And that's it. Simple, easy. And then when you're ready to plant, either get some starts from a neighbor or buy them, dig a hole, plant, and you're ready to go. Do you have any advice? I mean, basically, we're saying try. Just get out there and try.
Yes.
Do you have any other advice you'd like to share?
No experience before this gardening project, so it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be overwhelmed. But if you look for the right resources, as you or any other type of videos, books, whatever, you're going to do great. Just it's normal to be afraid, but it will turn out good.
If you mess up, you can restart.
Yeah.
And there's always next year if it doesn't work out and it's a disaster, but that won't happen. So I'm trying to think. So we'll just, if we didn't talk about all the steps for building your first in-ground or second year in-ground, I'll put some clips here. Okay, so Kenya and I were just here on her deck and we were talking about her strawberries that, was it last fall that I sent them over or last?
Yes.
Okay. She actually has a couple babies. And we were talking about should she put these in front of her peppers and tomatoes. And I said, I guess you should try anything that you want to try. But some berry plants like blackberries, raspberries, blueberries don't like to be near tomatoes and peppers or nightshades. Strawberries might be more tolerant to be with them, but ideally they really aren't the best companions. But I think if you want to try it, you should try it. But we were talking about the light. So I'll put another picture of your garden here. So if you think about the light, Tonto and Pepper Plain, you want to put your short items in the front that get the sun. So you always have to be thinking about the light. So you wouldn't want to put your tall plants in the front because then they wouldn't get, the little guys, the little strawberries wouldn't get sun if they were in the back. So you want to make a tier like short, medium, tall. And then you could tuck your flowers all around. So yeah, I just wanted, we had forgot to talk about the lighting. So how many tomatoes do you think you're going to be able to fit in that space?
Well, last year it was, I cannot even remember the names. It was one black cherry tomato, I think, one plant.
It was the purple, did you have a purple Cherokee? No, you had the chocolate Tasmanian.
Yes, that one.
I don't have that one this time.
I had, what was I cannot even remember. I need to go back into the text. But it was a small one.
Oh, it was a dwarf? Or
yes, it was one of
the
that
semi-determinate. Bradley? I think you did get a Bradley.
I think so.
And a cherry tomato. You had a cherry tomato.
And there was another tomato that was a little bit taller.
Okay.
I cannot remember the name.
Okay. Well, I'll send you the list. I know I've already said that like 3 times, but I haven't finalized it because I did have a few fatalities in the last couple of weeks. I over-fertilized.
Okay.
So I'm still learning too. I make mistakes all the time. But why don't we flip the camera around and take a little look at your garden, because would you mind if we come back and do a follow-up in a few months or a couple months? Maybe at the peak of harvest or when your plants are getting nice and big. And then I wanted to see if maybe if you're having deer trouble.
Yes, I was going to bring that up.
Then let's make a deer video because you don't have a fence.
No.
And we have a million deer that trample through here all the time. So we'll make another video on that if you're up for it. Okay, well, that's all, guys. Thanks for joining us. I don't know if you can see the dogs in the background, but they're going to play, and we're about to have a lot of rain. Okay, bye.